welcome to a special draft edition of the Seattle Seahawks Report. I'm Jordan Georgie. I'm going to be breaking down all of the Seahawks 2018 NFL draft picks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see who they picked up first. The Seahawks selected running back from San Diego State, Rashaad Penny. The Seahawks were involved with a big trade the first day of the draft, sending Green Bay their 18th pick along with a 7th rounder in exchange for the 27th pick, a 3rd rounder, and a 6th rounder. With that, they chose Penny. With needs at cornerback and edge rusher and Iowa corner Josh Jackson and Boston College edge Harold Landry still on the board at pick 27, the Seahawks drafted a running back, and that running back was not LSU's Darius Geis. So we're going to go ahead and give this one a D grade. We know Pete Carroll vowed to fix the Seahawks running game, but will Penny be the guy to help that cause? We'll see. I don't believe it to be so, but in 4 years at San Diego State, Penny rushed for 3,656 yards and 38 touchdowns, while totaling 479 yards receiving with 6 more scores. As a kickoff returner, Penny notched 7 scores and had a punt return touchdown last season. Carroll commented on the pick, saying he's such an exciting player, he's so versatile, so dynamic, and we know every time he gets his hands on the ball, he can score a touchdown. We'll see, Carroll, we'll see. Next pick came in round 3, 79th overall. The Seahawks added to their defensive line by taking USC defensive end Rasheem Green. Green played both end and tackle for the Trojans and started all 14 games last season. He earned first-team All-Pac-12 honors last season after recording a team-high 12.5 tackles for loss and 10 sacks. Green's versatility should be an asset for Seattle, who values flexible defensive linemen, and Green is more than willing to play wherever he is asked. For that reason, we're going to go ahead and give this selection a C+. Next up in round 4, pick 120, the Seahawks select tight end Will Dissly out of Washington. One of the best blocking tight ends in the draft, Dissly will pair with Ed Dickson to give the Seahawks a proven elite blocker at the position and a blocking prospect at the position who could be the next Dickson. This is clearly another move made to keep improving the run game. He is inexperienced, but he's improving. Dissly has the potential to become a much more productive and effective player than where he stands right now. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a C grade. Next pick in round 5, pick 141, is this guy, linebacker from UCF, Shaquem Griffin. A+12s. I love this guy. Shaquem ran a 4.38 in the 40-yard dash at the combine, the fastest time for a linebacker in more than a decade. He also did 20 reps of 225 pounds on the bench press using a prosthetic arm. His position in the NFL is still to be determined. He was a force as an outside linebacker, rushing off the edge at UCF. But at 6 foot and 227 pounds with insane speed, he could switch to being the bigger safety Pete Carroll likes to have on this defense. Moving on with the Seahawks' second pick in the 5th round of the draft, Seattle took Oklahoma State safety Tre Flowers with the 146th pick. The Seahawks announced Flowers as a cornerback on their Twitter account, which makes sense considering how well his frame fits what the Seahawks likes in their corners. In 2017, Flowers led the Cowboys with 79 tackles in 13 games. 11 of those he started in. He also had 2 interceptions and a team-high 7 pass breakups. I'm not sold on him just yet, so I'm giving this one a C grade. Next, the Seahawks took Texas punter Michael Dickson in the 5th round, sending the 156th selection and a 7th rounder to Denver to get the 149th pick to take Dickson. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a C grade because the Seahawks already have veteran John Ryan, and it wasn't necessarily a need. But if you're going to go ahead and take a punter, this is the guy you want. He won the 2017 Ray Guy Award after averaging 47 yards per punt last season, and Dickson only needed 3 years to establish UT's record for all-time punts in average. Basically, a guy who's going to get the job done. Next, with the Seahawks' final 5th round selection in the 2018 NFL Draft, they addressed the offensive line for the first time, selecting Ohio State tackle Jamarco Jones, 168th overall, reminding Jermaine Ifedi that his job is not safe at right tackle. Jones was a consistent starter for the Buckeyes over his final 2 seasons, starting 27 straight games to close out his career and earned first-team All-Conference honors for the Big Ten champs. As long as he continues to develop, Jones will be successful at the next level, but for now he earns a C+ grade from me. Up next with the 186th pick, the Seahawks selected edge rusher Jacob Martin out of Temple. Following the trade of Michael Bennett and Cliff Avrill's uncertain future, the Seahawks needed to pick up an edge defender. Martin recorded 8 sacks and 11 tackles for loss last season. He was also a second-team All-Conference selection as a senior. With Martin, the Seahawks gain a player with great speed and tackling ability for special teams who may also be able to help out at a spot pass rusher or even maybe able to transition to a linebacker if the Seahawks change their minds. Not sold on this one completely yet, so this is a D grade for me. And lastly, the Seahawks wrapped up their 2018 draft by selecting Alex McGough, a quarterback out of Florida International University. McGough becomes just the second quarterback drafted by Pete Carroll and John Schneider after Russell Wilson in 2012. And this move comes only a week after Schneider talked about needing to do a better job drafting and developing quarterbacks behind Wilson, like we talked about in last week's Seahawks report. But this is not the guy we had in mind. So for me, this is an F grade. So let's go ahead and recap all of the Seahawks 2018 NFL draft selections. First guy was Penny, followed by Green, Disley, and Shaquem Griffin from UCF. Next guy was Tre Flowers, followed by Dickson, Jamarco Jones, and Jacob Martin. And the last guy they picked up was Alex McGough. So overall, I am going to give the Seattle Seahawks draft a C-. Now, this is being quite generous, I will say. Some of the picks that came out of absolutely nowhere. Guys we didn't expect nor needed or wanted 12s. They redeemed themselves for me by selecting Shaquem Griffin. I'm so excited to see this guy play and extremely happy that the Seahawks were the ones to give him a chance. But other than that, I can't say that I'm entirely impressed or pumped with the Seahawks draft class, but I want to know from you guys, so make sure to get your grade of the Seahawks draft in the reactions. If you think they did well and it was an A for you, make sure to throw up that heart. If it was a B, throw up a like. If it was a C grade for you, go ahead and throw up a wow face or a haha if it was a D or F. Or go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at Jordan Giorgio and let me know what you thought. That was your Seattle Seahawks report. I'm Jordan Giorgio. Make sure to go ahead and like the page at Seattle Seahawks from Chat Sports. Until next time, I'll see ya.